So I recently watched this video by half man, half robot, Mark Zuckerberg, where he talks about the Apple Vision Pro, and he says this word.
You know, some fanboys get upset whenever fanboys.
I'm not a fanboy, am I? Why do I feel so personally attacked? Look, I'm gonna admit it, I'm a little bit of a fanboy, and I've been using it for the past 2 weeks daily, several hours per day, and I gotta say, I absolutely love it. And I saw the exact same reactions across the board. I took the Vision Pro over to some of my YouTuber friends here in Canada because this is not even available in Canada, and they all had similar extravagant reactions.
Wow!
See here. Oh, wow.
Whoa!
Oh yeah, that was the next thing I was gonna make you do.
Oh, that's sick! Oh, come on! There's no way!
That's pretty cool.
Right?
That's
the part.
Wow. I'm honestly impressed with how intuitive it is.
Whoa! Yeah.
Wow!
That's so cool. Oh, wow.
Oh!
Yeah, you can go into
See ya. Oh, it's what? So I'm on the moon.
Nonetheless, they all thought it was pretty groundbreaking, which is why I was a little bit surprised when in the interview Mark says this.
After using it, I don't just think that Quest is the better value. I think that Quest is the better product, period.
So as any self-respecting tech YouTuber, I had to check this out. I did it. I'm gonna quickly share with you guys my first impressions actually using the Quest 3, and then I'm gonna kind of compare my experiences using both of these for quite some time now. First of all, when I first tried the Quest 3, I gotta say, I haven't tried any of the Oculus or Meta products in quite some time, and I was blown away. I legitimately thought after using the Vision Pro, there's nothing that's gonna come close to that. And I was just a little bit surprised because the way that, you know, everybody kind of made it seem online on the whole, like having the pass-through where you're able to see your real world and have like screens on there, the ability to like pick up screens, take them around with you, place them places, and do all that stuff was like novel, and it was never been done before. When in actuality, I was able to do the exact same thing in the Quest 3. Out of the nuance and actually break down some of the bigger differences between the two. Firstly, build quality. Look, I mean, it goes without saying, it's an Apple product, you're paying a lot of money for this. It's like a down payment for a house in Texas. So this thing is built like a tank. Comparing the two, the Vision Pro feels like a luxury timepiece that, you know, has meticulously been crafted versus this is a quartz fossil watch that you picked up at Walmart. Now, there's nothing wrong with the quartz fossil watch that you picked up at Walmart because there are some advantages to that, and we'll get into that in a second, but I mean, design-wise and like build quality-wise, this Vision Pro knocks it out of the park. But that's the thing, one of the biggest downsides to making things premium is going to be the heftiness, the weight factor of it. And the Vision Pro does not disappoint there. It is pretty heavy.
It's too heavy. Like my head's already hurting, and I've only had it on what, for like 30 minutes?
Now, Zuckerberg did say that the Quest 3 is better value for $1, and look, I'm gonna go out and say, even though as much as it hurts me, okay, because I'm a huge fan of the Vision Pro, value-wise, this thing is currently unbeatable. The Quest 3 for $500 being 7 times cheaper than the Vision Pro, you can't argue with that. Value-wise, this thing is phenomenal. Now let's talk about pass-through quickly, because a lot of times when you're wearing the headset, that's what you're going to be living with. Pass-through on both of these is pretty good, but the Vision Pro hands down wins here. The way that the Vision Pro adapts to light and it doesn't blow out all the highlights like with this, all the darker areas or like the slightly dimmer areas have a lot of noise in the image quality of the Quest 3. Also, the resolution is noticeably lesser compared to the Vision Pro on the Quest 3, and also there's some like weird artifacts, warping and stuff, like if I move my hands really quickly near the lens.
Interesting thing is, yeah, the pass-through is way better. It's way better than the Quest, and it doesn't do that weird warpy, especially with depth.
So pass-through, definite win on the Vision Pro. Now next, let's talk about wires. This is something that has been a sticky point for me as well. The wires, like the way that the cable hangs out of the Vision Pro while you're using it, I find it super annoying.
This cable kind of...
Yes. That was my issue.
Kind of gets, you know?
Yeah, you gotta throw it at the back. But yeah, I wish there was no cable hanging out, but I understand what they're doing. It's a first gen product. Let's give it some time, right? But the fact that there's no cables or wires coming out of the Quest 3 is a huge plus. Next, one of the things I did notice also was motion blur. The whole point of these headsets is to give you like this immersive environment, right? Where you kind of feel like you're not in your reality. So that is a little bit more noticeable for some reason on the Vision Pro, but I kind of chalk that up to it being the higher quality screens and the higher quality resolution. Because this is lower resolution, there's less amount of data that it has to kind of transfer to both eyes and sync between the camera and the screen. So because of that, the motion blur is a little bit better on the Quest 3, but the resolution on the Vision Pro is better. Let's talk about the actual inputs and controls. The hand tracking method on the Vision Pro is one of the things that blew me away and blew away like a lot of different people.
Close to you. And then it becomes like a huge theater screen.
Oh, are you
kidding
me?
Yeah.
No way, man.
Now, the way that the cameras are able to tell, even if you have your hands to the side of your body and you're just kind of like tapping here, like the way that it's able to pick up everything and track exactly where your eyes are looking, it almost seems like it's reading your mind. It feels magical. And for that, I gotta give like the input and everything like that to the Vision Pro. It just does it so fantastic. But after using the Quest 3, I also cannot discount the importance of having something like this, like a controller. The Quest 3 also has hand tracking, and you can see here me actually using my hand to move windows around, to, you know, kind of take things with me, or to control what's on my screen, and it does a really good job. Surprisingly, I actually had no idea. I thought the Vision Pro was the only thing that could do that. The Quest 3 does a phenomenal job at it as well. It doesn't feel as magical as the Vision Pro, simply because you're able to track with your eyes and just tap to select in this. But where I think the Quest 3 actually wins is the controllers that come with it. Things like, you can see me here playing a game, being able to kind of pick up things or box with it. You have like triggers on here and everything, and to shoot guns with it. It's really nice, and I'm glad that they have this here. And the moment you actually start using this and you realize how precise your controls can get, you really start to appreciate having controllers. And speaking about games, that brings me to another point that the Quest 3 really wins on, is the apps and the games and stuff like that currently. Now, the Quest 3 is known for gaming and, you know, creating these virtual environments and stuff like that. And there's a lot of games already out for the Quest 3, and it's really fun to play in that VR mode, versus with Apple, there's just not many things yet. Yes, you do get your regular Apple ecosystem stuff, like access to your notes, your messages, and App Store and whatnot, but it's gonna take quite some time for the developers to come in and try to code all of those things for the Vision Pro. So currently, in terms of availability of the ecosystem, like even just looking at like YouTube and Netflix and stuff like that, that's all already available for the Quest 3 and not the Vision Pro. I think the Quest 3, you know, becomes a really good option. There's no real way to actually like connect this to my computer, versus with the Quest 3, I was able to connect it with USB-C to my computer, drag and drop whatever files I wanted, and boom, I was done and I was ready to go. That also makes the Quest 3 much more, I guess, user-friendly at the moment. But at the end of the day, the message I want to kind of get across is the Vision Pro is hands down the better product. I think Zuckerberg's like dead wrong when he says that, you know, that he thinks that the Quest 3 is the better product overall. No, man, come on. But yes, the moment you bring in value for money, the Quest 3 has a much more compelling argument here. And I think for people to assume that just because the Vision Pro is more expensive, it's a better product, I think that's an incorrect assumption. It's much more nuanced than that. I can, you know, confidently say, even though I'm a huge fan of this, it's not 7 times worth more than the Quest 3 to get this, right? The cost is exorbitantly high, and basically you're paying for the R&D costs for Apple to launch their first gen device and product. Now, if you are somebody who's an enthusiast, who's an early adopter, who wants to be a trendsetter and wants to develop apps or try things and, you know, do all of those things, then sure, this is a fantastic product and I absolutely love it. But if you are the average consumer that just wants to jump into virtual reality and see what, you know, that industry has to offer, this is probably the better way to go. Which brings me to the final point I want to make, is that the audiences for both of these products is very different, and people that are tech early adopters, This is like a dream product. There's nothing like it on the market. It is something that literally brings a smile to my face every single time I put it on and I use it, and how intuitive and fluid it is, and how it's just a magical experience. It's, like I said, one of the, if not the best tech product that I've had the pleasure of trying in a very long time. It's just on another level. And but I turn the question back over to you. Which one would you pick up, right? You, the audience watching this, would you rather pick up the Quest 3 or would you rather pick up the Apple Vision Pro if it was sold in your country, I guess? But yeah, which one would you get? My name is Tausif Hussain. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, check out one of these 2 videos here, and I will see you guys there. Take care.
Like, that's shockingly impressive. Like,
It's not as good as like a monitor, but it's so darn close.
Yeah.
Like it's real. This is hands down the cleanest text I've seen in a VR headset. Period. Like it's so good.
Wow. Wow. I never need to go on another vacation again.